I think for a lot of students coming into college for the first time, they have this idea that college writing means that they need to talk in some sort of very formal way, or maybe in ways that aren't authentic to who they are. And it's actually quite the opposite. My name is Jennifer Ambrose, and I'm the director of the Writing Center. One of the missions of the Writing Center is to make sure that when students graduate from Hamilton, that they feel like they have a voice, and that it's a voice that is authentic to them, and that they're comfortable using that voice to advocate for things that they believe in and for other people and for themselves. And so that's one of the things that we try to focus on in summer tutoring, is introducing students to that idea and giving them opportunities to practice doing that before they get into classrooms in the regular academic year. So in summer tutoring, you'll be coming into the Writing Center for help with your writing, which maybe makes sense, but that could span writing that you're doing in any of your classes. So one of the things that I've been talking with the summer faculty about a lot is incorporating more writing, say, into your chemistry class or your geo class or bio, incorporating writing into your gov class. And during the summer, you can get help on all of that writing from your writing tutors, just like you would during the regular academic year. You'll also be coming into the Writing Center for tutoring for your gov class in particular. And so you'll have dedicated tutors who can really think with you both about how you're writing in Gov, but also about how you're reading in that discipline. And reading is so closely connected with writing that it's important to think about it as a skill that you can grow in the same way. And one of the things that we're hoping to do this summer is to focus more on how you read for different types of texts and resources. So the way that you read a scholarly article might be different than the way you read a textbook if you're preparing for a test or something like that. So we'll be focusing on that quite a bit this summer. For tutoring in the summer program, we try as closely as possible to make it mimic the experience of tutoring during the regular academic year. And that just makes a lot of sense, right? Because it prepares you for what things are going to be like when you actually get into your classes. So because of that, when we train the summer tutors, we focus a lot on the aspect of mentoring that comes along with tutoring. Part of what's important about recurring tutoring is just forming a relationship with a tutor and having that mentor here for you during your entire first year at Hamilton. Students would be able to come in every single week, same day and time, and meet with the same tutor, which is a really different experience than just coming in for a one-off appointment or meeting with a bunch of different tutors. And they're both really valuable in their ways, but I think Hamilton was lacking the recurring tutoring side of that. So that's one of the major changes that we've made over time. I haven't mentioned yet that I'd like to mention also as a change is that we now have a multilingual specialist on staff. And one of the things I think Hamilton has not done well before this time is to not only acknowledge but really value people who can communicate in multiple languages. It's such a tremendous asset just in college and then also beyond college. And so I'm really excited that we now have a professional multilingual specialist on staff. They spend a lot of time training all of our tutors across all of the academic resource centers to really privilege that knowledge set on the part of our students and to think about how we tutor in ways that, again, encourage students to use their own voices, even when they're writing in English. And so I'm really excited to hopefully in the future expand the work that they're doing also into the realm of getting the campus more broadly to think about issues of linguistic justice and equity in those ways.
My name is Laura Widman. I'm the Assistant Director of the Writing Center, and I am also our multilingual specialist. I do all of our support for multilingual students on campus, especially students who are working on developing their academic English skills and how they want to express themselves in English, as well as doing translingual writing, which means writing in multiple languages. Students who have English as a secondary language, so it wasn't one of the first languages that they learned as a child. It sometimes feels a little bit more difficult to figure out the nuances and the intricacies of academic English writing, can find me in the Writing Center. They can work with me one-on-one, and I can provide support for all types of English writing, reading, speaking, and grammar support, whatever a student needs at all levels of language education. And they can also work directly with our tutors. So students who don't feel like they need specific support from me, all of our tutors have been trained to work with students who are multilingual and be able to answer some of those questions about grammar and academic English that are sometimes really difficult to find answers to online or from your friends. Things like, why do you use a versus the in front of a noun? Or why do we format academic papers this way, and why does my professor not like it formatted this other way? There's sometimes a misconception that tutoring is only helpful if you're bad at writing, but I find that tutoring is helpful if you feel bad at writing, or if you feel like you're the best writer in the world. Because even if you feel really confident about a paper, sometimes writing tutoring will give you a different perspective or a different read on your paper that maybe you hadn't considered before, or you didn't realize that something about the tone or your argument was not supporting the actual argument that you wanted to be making. So writing tutoring is really for any student, regardless of how comfortable or how satisfied you are with the writing that you're creating. Students can bring anything, even tangentially related to writing, to the Writing Center. A lot of students come in saying, I have an idea for a paper, or I just got this prompt and I don't know what to do with it. Please help me. And tutors are there to help. You can bring in papers at all stages of the writing process. So from the second you get a prompt to you just want someone to give it one last final polish and a little bit more help right before you submit it. And you can also bring in all different types of writing. So we work with senior theses, first year writing intensive course papers, even things like applying to grad school programs, applying to certain internships, fellowships, scholarships, and even just personal creative projects. So students will come in with their personal poetry or creative stories that they're working on. So it doesn't even have to be related to your academics at Hamilton. If it's writing that you want to do and you want help with, we're there for it.